I mentioned this when I saw the matchups with the brackets. Every year feels like there's one or two games where the committee has a sense of humor. And look, this is made for TV, so I have no problem if you say we're going to match this team with this team, or this coach against this coach against his former team. As long as it fits into the parameters of you're a 12 against a 5, we're not going to, manipulate this where you're not really a 12 or not really a 5 to have this matchup happen. So Minnesota faces Louisville. And it just so happens that Minnesota's head coach is Rick Pitino's son. And going against the school that his dad is suing and was, fired from. I guess it's just a coincidence because Seth Davis was not pleased with people who were suggesting this. And there aren't many of these games. I go back to when Texas Tech and Bob Knight was going to be matched up against Indiana. Okay, maybe it's just a coincidence there. I don't know. I looked at Marquette and Murray State, and the two best scorers in the nation are going to be matched up against each other in a 12-5. Just so happens that you're going to have this matchup here. Okay. But, I understand where you're saying, that, hey, they don't manipulate this. Oh, okay. I'm in favor of it. I mean, this is made for TV. It's a TV event. You want to match them up? Then match them up. As long as it fits in with what your designated seed is, that you're not, pushing somebody up or, moving somebody down. So I understand it, but Seth Davis from CBS, I think he took offense to people of my ilk who were suggesting that maybe the committee has a sense of humor and they manipulate some of these games. Seth Davis joining us now.
Danny Pooh, how you doing?
Good. Are you upset that, people have the audacity to say maybe we're manipulating it a little bit? I'm in favor of them doing this.
I would be too, by the way. I would be too. Are we talking about like the Patino, Minnesota, Louisville thing?
Or Marquette against Murray State? Is it totally random that those two games just came out of the hopper?
I realize that people, and by the way, what no one's talking about is if Arizona State wins, that's Bobby Hurley potentially playing his other school.
Buffalo.
Johnny Dawkins, I think UCF and Duke could be on a track. This is very arcane, nerdy stuff that usually only people like me pay attention to, so you'll forgive me. But there's a lot of misconception about how this works. When the committee's in that room, they basically spend 6 days going through everything, every record, to rank the field 1 through 68. They're not just doing the 1, 2, 3, 4 lines all the way to 16. They're ranking all of the teams 1 through 68, and that takes like 6 days. The actual placing of the teams into regions and into the brackets takes under an hour, which they probably do on Sunday to incorporate Saturday results. And it's basically almost automatic because it's driven mostly by geographies. Everyone's mad that Michigan State's gone to the east, but D.C. is closer than Anaheim, so that's where Michigan ends up going out west. So they can look every 4 lines where the overall seed totals are totaled up, so they can shift around for competitive balance if it looks off. So they tweak it here and there, but mostly it's pretty automatic, and there's a lot of principles about how many teams from a conference can go here and whether they played in the first round there and certain things and whether or not, there's already somebody there so they go to a different region. But it's basically driven by geography, and it's basically automatic. So there's literally no way, even if you wanted to, Dan, manipulate these matchups because you're looking at the teams 1 through 68 and you can't figure out where all of that is going to end up. And so they actually don't even see these matchups until they're, okay, bang, we're done. Now we're going to look at a bracket. So they don't look at a bracket until they're officially done. So they don't have time, they don't have the inclination, and they literally don't have the ability to manufacture matchups. That's the truth. People don't want to hear it. They don't like to hear it. Every year we get these intriguing storyline matchups of a coach going against his former team or a dad coaching against a son or a this or a that.
Yeah.
It's just literally not possible. I'm sorry to spoil everybody's fun.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.